Hey, hi everyone. So, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we have a very special guest, Hemant sir. He is a great personality and director of growth at Indicio. Hi sir, how are you?
Hi, Akshay. Thanks for inviting me.
Thanks. Welcome, sir. It's thanks for your precious time and valuable inputs. Whatever we are going to have here, it's always great to have a conversation with you, sir. So thanks for your time. So, sir, we'll get start with your introduction, and then we'll move more towards the use case on identity space and how exactly in DC are you doing.
Sure,
Over to
sure.
you, sir.
First of all, thank you so much, Akshay. And I also want to congratulate you to having this interesting podcast in making people aware about technology, especially blockchain, in a very simple manner. I've seen your videos, you try to explain so that even a layman can understand who's a non-technical background. So that's very important. About my journey till
Correct, sir.
now, it has been very adventurous, very interesting, and I had done my schooling from various metro, starting from Chennai, earlier Madras, then Calcutta, Bombay, now it's Mumbai,
Wow,
then Delhi, Lucknow, and many other places because of my father's transferable
amazing.
job. So from a childhood itself I gained a lot of experience by being in different places, by observing people, by getting involved in different cultures and understanding languages, cuisine from different people. But what I found common is that everyone is same from the inner self. So it all depends how we interact with them. We receive what we give. So I believe in that. And then after doing my schooling, college, I wanted to join the army, which I cleared the UPSC. I wanted to
Amazing,
join the IMS. So I did
amazing, sir.
graduation from
So
Lucknow Christian
you've
College.
been there in
But
army?
no, I could not. That's what I want to say. Man
Haha.
proposes, God disposes. So I cleared my written, then my SSB, and then you go for the medical. There I found on the last day of a medical that I was not medically fit. So that was the
Okay.
first jolt I got, but still I got over it. And then I did my post graduation in uh, sociology and psychology, and then I took my UPSC exams also, where I didn't make in the mainstream, but I worked in central government. But again, for 7, 8, 9 years maximum. Then the creative urge attracted me towards filmmaking, corporate films, and
Wow.
multimedia productions. And then I was into advertising. So I was in the marketing communication segment of advertising. So I was there for 15, 20 years. Then I got pulled towards technology.
Amazing.
So why everyone, when they introduce themselves, they say I'm a technocrat or a technopreneur, entrepreneur. I relate myself as a lifepreneur because
Wow. Amazing, sir. Yeah,
if
yeah.
there was no life, I would not been talking to you also. I would not have been able to go to the different places which I just mentioned, let it be Madras, Calcutta, or I could have done my graduation, post graduation. So I always keep the life in the center, and then I allow myself to play around in the outside. So in that context, universe has been very kind enough to provide me a lot of opportunities. So in this life journey, I had experience of being to different cities, interacting with different people, thousands of people. Then uh, worked in government, private sector. I did my own work. Now I am with working along with Indicio, which is the
Mm.
market leader in verified credential technology that you must be aware of.
Right.
And also, I was involved with Science Divine as the CEO for 15 years. So,
Wow.
in spreading the science of spirituality to
Oh,
in a very what do you say simple language. So I say spirituality simplified, So unless spirituality is also part of our life, like we relate to the outside world, we call the material world. So
Right.
similarly, we have a digital world also for
Hmm.
last so many years. So
Right.
we interact in that world, material world, because we use our sense organs to relate to the outside, what we see, perceive, then allow our mind to process and then act or respond accordingly. Similarly, we also live in the spiritual world. So I strongly believe there has to be a cohesiveness or a harmony between the two worlds. Then what will happen?
Hmm.
You do whatever you want to do to achieve anything in the material world, and you should be able to enjoy that achievement of that material prosperity which you work so hard to get it. So if you relate yourself in the spiritual realm of the existence, then from inside you'll be in a state of true to your intrinsic nature, that is of peace, joy, and eternal happiness. Eternal happiness is that happiness which does not depend on anything what is happening in the outside, because that is your nature. That is a core nature of your software. So you be
True, sir.
true to the software, which is your creation software, and then you are able to actually enjoy the work you are doing in the outside without stress, without anxiety, without any insecurity. So that is important,
Well,
what I feel. So yeah, so this also, and this what I apply in whatever ventures I do, or whatever work I'm doing right now, or I should do earlier in my advertising days. That when you're doing something in the present, get involved totally in it by giving 100% attention and energy to it. And result is a byproduct. So that is what
absolutely.
I have been doing it until now. Also, I believe in that. So that way, you tend to be in the present.
Hmm.
That's
Amazing.
important. Your
Yeah,
mind
yeah.
will take you to the past or future. So
Yeah, yeah.
I believe in being in the present.
Absolutely correct, sir.
So I'm enjoying talking to you right now because this is happening in the present.
I'm enjoying a lot more than you because I'm getting here at your the great live lessons. You are very fantastically you correlate our spiritual world with the digital world as well as the material world. Not just that, you correlate it with the software as well, like the IT stuff what we used to do. Very well said, sir. You mentioned it very correctly. We have to live in the present, and just result is ultimately just do whatever you are doing perfectly, then you'll get the result. It's like outcome of your doings, right? So yeah, I believe in the same. That's the thought process matches, and that's why we are here, I think, to discuss more on the
True, true.
use case point of view. How, right? So this is how I believe energy matches, and then we find a similar sort of peoples or like-minded peoples over our journey. Very well, sir. It's like a pleasure to meet you, sir. You have a great experience. Now we'll talk more on
No,
all aspects. Uh, yeah, aspects what you have touched in your intro. Perfect, sir. So, very first, I must say you have a very vast and very great experience. So, apart from this podcast, I'll keep connecting with you for real life hustles and whatever challenges we have. That's a great thing. But most important part here to touch base on our blockchain space, how India is moving towards blockchain, and what kind of use cases India is coming up, or globally use cases we have with respect to verifiable credentials, as Indicio or India.io is a very big leader from a past in digital identity space. So I would like to know more on Indicio, sir, what exactly it's doing, and what they are offering. Yeah,
okay. That's a very interesting question. Yes, and that's very important.
yeah.
So before we touch upon blockchain or Indicio, I would like to say technology has been a great multiplier in our lives, in today's life, in terms of everything, and because of technology we are able to talk to each other. I'm in Delhi, you are in Bangalore, but we seem as we are sitting next to each other and exchanging our thoughts, and even I can feel your energy also. So that's the power of technology. But a layman, a common man, does not understand technology, what's happening in the back end,
Right.
what coding language has been used, what server, what database. Their most important is the user experience on the outside. So a poor man is able to do a digital banking, is able to use UPI, or through AEPS, Aadhaar Enabled Payment Service, is able to receive money. And so technology enabler of making life simpler, more comfortable living.
Right.
So now, so like, and but whenever we interact with anyone, two people, so first, most important is that both the people should know each other whom they are talking or interacting with. Then only they'll be able to uh, exchange their information or idea.
True.
The father knows he's talking to his son, the son knows he's talking to father, so they interact. So in the analog world, we are able to know the person we interact with. Like we used to be physically present. For example, if a person had to do any banking transaction, he used to go to the bank. So the authenticity of the customer is known to the bank clerk, and he knows he is the person who's got an account here. So the trustworthiness of the individual is the 100%, but the user experience was very cumbersome. He has to travel, take a bus, or walk down and go to the bank. But the authenticity of the individual was there, or the trustworthiness, and the integrity also was there. But in the hybrid mode, when we started living in both, somewhere we started using digital and also in the physical way we used to interact. So it started with the first fax machine, when we are able to send a fax. So it made simple life simpler. Instead of going physically to hand over a document, I was able to send it through a fax. But here the question arises about the authenticity of that document which I have just received, whether it is true
Hmm.
as per the source has given it, or I have created it through malified methods. So what I wanted to uh, prove the point is that the authenticity and integrity of the data is important. The data means here it could be individual, it could be identity data, it could be about entity, or about the organization, or about a IoT, or about any sensor also. So which was missing in the earlier version of internet, at present also.
Right.
Our identity is based on your email ID, or user ID, password, or OTP, or some other multi-factor authentication. But all those things can be stolen by bad actors, which we are witness to things happening all over the world, even at the government level also. So what was why?
Right.
Because there was something missing at the identity, and the verification layer was missing. So what Indicio has done, Indicio has been the trendsetter in this, fulfilling the gap of this space of making identity verifiable through a identification verification process, wherein blockchain through the ledger plays a very important role in establishing the verification process through the DITCOM basis. But here in blockchain, we use only to verify uh, the authenticity and integrity of the credential which has been issued by, say, a government department or by any trustworthy organization, and that credential which has been issued by a issuer is being held by a individual. In this case, it could be in his digital wallet, and is able to share with his consent whenever it is needed, whether it is to be selective disclosure, or to prove himself without disclosing anything, zero knowledge.
Yeah.
And the verifier is able to verify the authenticity, means who is the source which has issued this credential. Number two, it has been issued to with this individual who's just presented the credential for verification. Third, it has not been altered or tampered in any way. That means the source, the way the source has issued the credential, it is as it is, and it has not been revoked till now. So it is valid. And once the issuer and Indicio has created an end-to-end comprehensive solution in terms of architecture and platform in enabling issuing the credential. So there is an issuer agent and then a holder agent who is able to hold the credential and is able to share it. So it is also share. It's like a portable
Yeah.
uh, data the individual holds, and the verifier can verify depending on case to case, whether it is travel, education, administration, governance, identity access management, both online and offline. So, and it can benefit in many ways to the common man. Like, for example, I go anywhere, I have to prove myself by showing a physical document. Say in India, it's Aadhaar. So, what does the verifier here? It's a constable who stands at the railway station or at the airport or any organization. He'll see whether the photograph in the Aadhaar card matches my face. So, if I am a fraudulent person, I can always replace that photograph
Right.
with the software that nowadays we have. And that constable does not have that acumen or the expertise to understand within, say, because he has got thousands of people to allow them to enter. He just have a look and all. But had this been verifiable, then he would have known instantly, say less than a second, this person who's supposed to enter the complex is actually the person or not a imposter. So here this technology can enable that, because I'll tell you, I'll give you a very simple example, Akshay.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Suppose someone comes to your house and you know he's my cousin brother's coming from, say,
Yeah.
some other place. So when he rings the bell, you see him through the keyhole. Once you are totally satisfied, hey, he is my cousin, because you're able to see him, and you open the door. Here, what I mean, when someone writes a user ID and password, the machine other side, it could be a bank or it could be any other organization. Let's say a bank, as an example. He says, okay, this person who has just written his user ID password will send him a OTP. He writes the OTP. We assume that he is the person who's supposed to enter my system. So I open the door. But how will that system know that this user ID password is not stolen by an imposter? And they are not able to rely on that password. That's why they want an OTP. But the OTP also comes from a third party server.
Right.
If someone wants, he can steal that OTP from the transit itself in trans. So, but now, if the bank would have known through the keyhole, yes, he is the person whom I have issued this user ID password, is the same person, not anyone else. Then I'll open the door. So here the keyhole means I'm talking about the DITCOM. When the holder presents his credential to the verifier, here verifier is the bank, is the system.
Okay.
So here it will not open the door. It will establish a mechanism like keyhole through the DITCOM, that it will know through the public key that the person who has just presented his credential is the person to whom this credential issued by this source, say XYZ bank or passport office or some government grade identity provider. So he knows, if he then he trusts the source, because SBI has issued, RBI has issued, or passport office has issued. So he sees this credential has been issued by the source itself. That means the authenticity is there, by knowing that it is not been created by any other uh, person except the authentic, genuine source. And secondly, it has been issued to Mr. X. And thirdly, it has not been altered in any way. So the integrity is there. So that handshake takes place. Then he said, okay, present your name. Then I'll say Hemant. And then the system open, then the door open. So he enters, he does his, suppose he's an employee, he will do his, enters his application, do his work, and he comes out. So here, the verified credential, instead of writing his user ID password, the person scans his verified credential with the QR code which is presented there on the laptop or on the mobile. So that is the kind of security it maintains. And a credential once issued cannot be tampered in any way. It is totally tamper proof, privacy preserving, interoperable, transactable,
Yes.
and it depends on you. Without your consent, it cannot be touched in any way because the chain will break. So here,
Correct.
blockchain creates that DITCOM, that keyhole kind of a mechanism to establish the two-way communication in knowing the customer is my customer and the customer knows the website I'm dealing with is my bank original website, not a phishing website.
Correct. Correct.
And
Correct,
so
sir.
that will help, and that will help people to establish his authenticity of his identity. And secondly, no need of giving your photocopy of your Aadhaar or passport wherever you go. And why
Yeah.
should I allow my all my personally identifiable information be held by any other person? It should be kept in my wallet, in my it should be in my custody. And same thing applies for my biometrics also. So
True.
Indicio has developed amongst many products the Indicio proven biometric. This is called bring your own biometrics. Now, for example, in today's generative AI age, and out of because of deep fake, anyone can copy my biometrics, my face and all. And so this is a time where technology makes our life simpler, but makes our life dangerous also. So we need to
True.
be very much conscious and aware of this threat also.
Correct.
Why there is a chance of your biometrics getting stolen? Because it is stored somewhere. Had it not been stored anywhere, then how can a hacker steal? The hacker enters the system and tries to steal the data. Because our biometrics are held in a centralized server, say we are 140 crore people in India, so there are 140 crore rows where along with my personally identified information, my biometrics also are
Biometrics.
stored. My
Okay.
iris, my fingerprints, my face. Here I am saying my biometrics should be stored in my custody. Whenever there is a need, I should be able to present it. So when we issue the verified credential, the Indicio proven has this. That is why I say it's a cutting edge technology. So once the issuer issues the verified credential to a person, he also takes the biometrics and integrates that biometrics data with the verified credential and is held in the digital wallet
Okay.
in a secured way. So it is there. So I know if I have been issued a credential by say passport office, so my biometrics also is attached with the credential, so that whatever is needed as per the identity assurance process, it is there. It is there with me now. It is not there in any third party server. Now, when I go to any place, they want to check whether I am the same person or not through my biometrics. So that they can have a liveness check. So again, I will place my hand on whatever handheld machine they have, or they have a face spot. So my face is recorded to the face spot or whatever uh, hardware they have.
Right.
Instantly, it will come to know without referring to a server, third party server, the biometric which Hemant just presented, does it belong to him or not, which till now was being sent to a server, say Aadhaar server, and again is to transmit back, and then there were chances of it being defrauded also. Like we have seen a lot of cases in AEPS, Aadhaar Enabled Payment Service. Now here what will happen when I present my biometrics at the liveness check, the software will come to know that this biometric which are just presented right now is resembles the biometric which is there in the digital wallet along with the verified credential, because through the DITCOM mechanism. So now suppose someone, an imposter, comes with stolen biometrics. First of all, he cannot steal, and he gives it. It will not match because it doesn't have the verified credential, no,
Right.
in his wallet.
Right. Right.
So that instantly will, and this has been accepted at the European Union level also. Even I think it EIDS 2.0 version
Hmm.
and European identity, open identity,
Right.
UDI.
Hmm.
So the
Amazing.
and IDMA also has integrated our software in it. So this will be
Okay.
a game changer.
Hmm.
Yeah.
True, true, sir. So you mentioned and you explained the complete use case in a very detailed way with the example of issuer, verifier, and holder, most important, and binding the use case of Aadhaar with it. Great, sir. So I got it completely. So now my next question is, in India, what exactly or where exactly we are implementing this particular solution? Is there any current ongoing processes where we are using it, or this is just still a concept for India, or are we really using it, or not just in India? If in globally we are using, so where exactly? As you have mentioned one European Union example, but is there somewhere
Okay.
in the world we are using it in a
Our
real world use case?
Indicio technology in the decentralized identity and verified credentials space, the best use case is at Aruba, which we
Okay.
were the first company to create a digital travel credential out of a government grade identity, that is the passport, which is based on the International Civil Aviation Organization (PKD) Public Key Directory. So this is a very interesting
Okay.
use case. At the time of COVID, Aruba government wanted uh, the entry of tourists in a very seamless and secured manner.
Okay.
So Indicio, along with Sita,
Mm.
uh, gave this concept to Aruba now, which is in implementation, which is working now in Aruba as the Aruba Happy One
Okay.
Pass. Here, suppose you are an international traveler, you have been issued a passport, chip-based passport by your government, say American government. So you just scan by using a software, you scan the passport and extract the information embedded in the chip, and it becomes a digital travel credential. So,
Mm.
because when you see a physical password, you see it just to authenticate the person, the traveler, that he is from this country and he's the authentic passenger. So, this will be a digital representation of the same physical password in the form of digital travel credential, which is accepted because it is based on the International Civil Aviation Organization (PKD), which is
Mm.
called the Type 2 kind of credential, which is globally accepted. Now, once I present this DTC to, say, the immigration office
Mm.
of Aruba. So when I physically enter Aruba, what I do? Again, I go to the immigration desk and do the process by standing in a queue and presenting my password. So this basically again to check the authenticity of the passenger or the traveler coming from a particular country. So this is done before I reach the airport itself, sitting at home.
Mm.
So pre-authorization of the traveler is done. So and pre-authorization of the passenger, because it's going to fly say by Delta Airlines, that is also be done. So when I enter Aruba, I do not have to undergo all the process. I don't have to again show my passport or anything else to prove who I am. It has already been proven by the digital travel credential, and then
Mm.
I just enter Aruba, cross the immigration, come out of the airport, sit in a cab. Again, it is pre-authorized. I do not have to show again my document because the cab knows that who I am. I go to a hotel. I do not have to again show my Aadhaar and give my photocopy to prove who I am. I'm already known to that person. I go to a dispensary. I've already known because in that ecosystem, Aruba government has created in such a way that the passenger or the traveler is recognized then and there. So it becomes very smooth and seamless for the traveler and for the government also.
Okay.
So
So
the
in
similar
in
kind
in
of
this use case,
experience we can do it in India also.
right, correct. So Aroma government has implemented the government itself, aviation government itself is acting as an issuer of passport to convert that into the digital representation of your passport, right? And the hotel and
Right.
that the aviation and multiple airports, flight, and all the other peoples are acting as a verifier in this scenario. Amazing.
Yes, yes.
Citizens are acting as the holders altogether. Perfect. Perfectly fine,
So
sir. So,
and your
for,
verification, yeah, your verification
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
is done without referring the source or disturbing the
Yeah, yeah.
source.
Without going
For
to the
example,
issuer, on the flight will happen.
without going to the
Yeah,
source, because through the ditcom they come to know to the public key. Another
yeah.
thing, for example, we have done in the education department of Kansas State in USA.
Okay.
Suppose a educational credential in the form of degree or a diploma or certificate is issued, to verify it takes a lot of time for the employer
Right.
or for any other organization. Again, they have to refer home whether you have issued this credential or not. So now, if the university issues a verifiable degree credential, which is again held by you, by the student or by the individual in his digital wallet in a portable manner, whenever he goes to an employer or wants to study abroad, he only presents his credential, which is instantly verified that yes, this degree was issued by XYZ University and it has been issued to this individual and it has not been altered in any way. That means it is the way it is supposed to be,
Yeah.
maintaining the
Authenticity of
credibility of
document.
the document. Yeah,
Correct, correct.
in
Amazing.
the open batch 2, when you are referring, then suppose the website company which issued the badge open batch 2 goes dark, then you also your credential is of no use. Here, even if the university closes down, but the degree in form of credential is still valid because it has not been done. So that is the benefit of the verified credential technology in educational credential.
Amazing, sir. Amazing. So I think I also personally feel
Yeah,
this is
there
a
are
very
many
big use case.
like in finance
Yeah.
sector, Indicio proven technology been used by the largest North American bank. I'm not disclosing the name because of confidentiality. American Express is the client. Our channel partners are Google, Cloud Store, AWS, Thales, uh, many other companies who are using our technology, because Indicio is the first company in the world to develop this kind of end-to-end comprehensive identity solution in the name of Indicio Proven. And we also have come out with Indicio Proven Auth, which enables single sign-on for employees to have access to their organization applications, like banks or any other organization. Employees also have to use user ID, password, and
Right.
OTP to log into the system, which is also prone to theft
Correct.
or to attacks, cyber attacks. So uh, then we have got the Supernova Constellation Award also for developing the Trust Alliance New Zealand Farm Wallet, which also here also the New Zealand government wanted the lives of the farmers to be made easier, because the farm laws in New Zealand is very strict. They have to follow a lot of statutory guidelines in terms of carbon footprint, in terms of pollution, in terms of, and they also, the farmers get subsidy, but in order to get the subsidy, they have to
A lot
do a
of
lot of
documentation.
documentation work to
Yeah.
prove what they're saying. So art, because of blockchain technology and verified credential technology, the lives of the farmers are made easy, much simpler. Earlier, they used to spend about $25,000 per annum to do all this documentation. Now they are able to do it free of cost and only focus on what they're supposed to work, that is farming. And instantly the banks give them, and because they are getting the information in a verifiable way and they're able to verify it then and there. It could be about carbon footprint or anything else. And last year also, Indicio got the Global Tech Award, which was the jury consisted of representatives from Amazon, Google, Capital One, and many other top tech companies
Yeah.
in the world.
Amazing, sir.
And
That,
Gartner
that's
has
great.
said that Indicio is the leading vendor in decentralized identity. And
Hmm.
many analysts have said the biometric solution as the master stroke.
Right.
So, yeah, Indicio technical team and the leadership has been working in this space for last so many years,
Hmm.
and in order to fill the gap which was missing of identity and verification.
Yeah, correct, correct. That's I think it's a huge contribution from Indicio in our global community in term with respect to identity to make it more mature and more robust. It's a great sir. But in India,
Yes,
I just remember one thing. We have a solution for in airports. Mostly have also experienced the DigiYatra. So I hope they are also similarly using Hyperledger Indy and those ecosystem to create a verifiable claims for your easy verification or onboarding process, right? So
right,
do you have
right.
any thoughts
So
on that?
DigiYatra has made life much simpler for passengers who earlier had to stand in long queues. Now they are
True.
able to prove themselves who they are. So they are, instead of the constable again seeing your Aadhaar,
Hmm.
that face spot allows you to enter the system. Yeah, and
Correct.
it can be improved upon, where you don't need to store any information anywhere.
Hmm.
In where
Right.
in our technology we do not have to take any kind of information or biometrics,
Hmm.
yet able to prove yourself who you are and able to cross through. And we are talking to many organizations who would, it's matter of time when they will introduce this solution
Hmm.
uh, to enable their employees to use passwordless login,
Hmm.
OTP-less login to the application,
Right.
and to make state governments understand the importance of this technology in making travelers or tourists, especially the international tourists,
Hmm.
life simpler by not showing the document every time they go to interact with any person and vendor in the state. So they're a traveler, let them enjoy
Hmm.
traveling. So we are
Right.
talking to governments also, so because for them it's new. Another thing which mm, make them feel attractive to our technology is that we said we are going to transfer the entire technology to you. You will be the owner of the technology. We'll train you, we'll guide you, and
Okay.
the data will be your data, because nowhere the data is stored in blockchain.
Right.
Blockchain is only used to establish the two-way verification
Hmm.
handshake between the verifier and the holder, and that's
Right.
what that makes them take our technology
Hmm.
with interest. When we said that
Hmm.
no information, whether in
Hmm.
private blockchain or public blockchain, will
Hmm.
be stored anywhere.
Right. Right. Amazing.
So your information will not be stored anywhere. So there is no
Hmm.
question of your information being stolen because it's not stored anywhere.
Yeah, yeah. It's not stored
That's
anywhere.
the beauty of this solution. Yeah.
It's only in user's wallet, the one who is holding those credentials. It's only in user's
Yes,
wallet gets
yes.
stored. It won't stored in the some
And
cloud or some.
our software is
Amazing.
wallet agnostic. We have our own holder plus wallet. We can store it there or
Right.
in anyone else
Right.
wallet, which uh, maintains the standards of the global standards of the Open Wallet Foundation.
W3C
So
compliance.
it is. Uh, W3C compliant and whatever the global standards. And Indicio is
Correct, correct.
there in most of all this global standard organization, you know. So,
Yeah, yeah. And I think what I like most, Indicia has the concept of setting up different validator nodes as a company in their global chain. That's, I think, a good game, because there are a lot of other key players in identity space. Those are trying to build
yes,
solutions or use case on top of identity. So they don't have that much infra to get and set up their own huge network over there. So it's easy for them to connect with the sovereign network which is already existing there and be the part of it and just build application on top of it. Not to take
sure.
more on the network side. They don't need to maintain network, right? Just simply be the part of it. So that's also one very
Yeah,
good
yeah,
use
yeah.
case. Yeah,
And we
amazing, sir.
encourage
Amazing.
people to understand, and then they can have a sandbox experience also, and they can
Yeah.
understand how easy it is to issue, hold, or verify a credential. And yeah, Indicio has been playing an important role in making people understand the importance of decentralized identity and make life, basically to make life secure, simpler, and smooth, starting with travel, land records, education, healthcare. Indicio has done uh, implemented the solution in the healthcare system of USA
Mm.
and in the governance of many countries like in British Columbia, in Canada,
Yeah, yeah.
New Zealand, and working very closely with the European Union establishment.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. So yeah, we have a very great conversation, and you explain things in a very detailed, sir. So specifically, still, I want to understand, just in a very short answer, I might expect, like India, where exactly we are standing with respect to the verifiable credential, and what is the adaptability, like adoption? What is the adoption in India with respect to this?
Okay, one good thing which I would like to share here. Aadhaar was established in 2009. At that time, what Aadhaar did was wonderful, reaching out to maximum, 100% of people with some physical identity.
Right.
It's not a citizenship card, but okay, establish identity. Basically, to enable the government to share the social benefits to the eligible beneficiaries.
Correct.
But now I've been talking to them, they have opened and rather they have now in principle agreed or have started working on making Aadhaar as a verified credential.
Okay. Mm.
Their tech team in Bangalore is working. So verified credential will be part and parcel of everyone's life in near future. Say I think
Okay.
within 2 3 years. So now in whichever fund, then verified credential has to be globally acceptable. So it should be
Mm.
globally interoperable of working not in one ecosystem but in all the ecosystems. So it has to be uh, technology agnostic, it has to be wallet agnostic, it has to be it, for example, so the standards and the protocol will play a very important role in maintaining the benchmark. For example, when internet was being evolved and when this email providers came, so we
Mm.
had email IDs from different companies like Yahoo, Rediff Mail, or say
Right.
Gmail, etc. But because of one protocol, a person using a Rediff mail could be able to send an email to Google, Gmail, or vice versa. Similarly, verified credential issued by any government or any department should have the capability of being recognized and verified by other agencies
Other
also.
department.
Here,
Right.
Indicio plays a very important role in providing that kind of a ecosystem, global ecosystem.
Okay. So I have here one question, sir. How it is possible? Let's say we are talking about two different countries. One is USA and one is India, and for both the countries they have two different networks. Okay, they have set up their own network, and they both have different deed specifications for their credentials. So whatever the credential is issued on one ledger is not able to verified by the other ledger, of course, because the verifier of this ledger will be type coupled with their network only, and verifier of the USA ledger will be coupled with their network. So how this issue we can solve to verify it?
Yes, this the very valid point you have raised, but sooner or later it has to be done. And suppose a organization in India writes a DID in the register, it will be basically just now we have www. It will be web based. It will be web DID based kind of a interaction. So
uh,
now the verifying software can be downloaded by anyone because if it there on the Play Store or an Apple. So uh, once you have the verifying agent software with you, and now suppose someone from India presents there, and it has been enabled in that way that it will go to that ledger and read that public key because and then is able to relate who is the source of this DID,
right.
whether it's from India or England or USA. So that's what global standards are working, and unless it is done, then now when we are talking about Web 3, Web 3.0 will enable all this question which you said.
Okay.
That is Web 3 all about.
Yep.
Web 2 did not have this kind of mechanism
Mhm.
where it was very difficult. It has no system only
Right.
to understand. And here it will be a two-way communication.
Mm.
Ditcom enables two-way communication.
Okay.
And Indicio has been contributing immensely in developing the Ditcom protocol in a
Right.
major way.
Correct. Correct.
So I think you are aware of it.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah.
I'm aware of it. So they have multiple specifications over there. Correct. So I think we have spent pretty well time. Like so, what will be your advice for the new beginners in the blockchain ecosystem? What's your suggestion for them?
So like students in today's time have a golden opportunity to know more about blockchain, artificial intelligence, and other emerging technologies in order to make uh, the world a better place to live in by making life simpler, but with an understanding awareness of where the technology should go. Now, blockchain earlier people used to relate to only Bitcoin or other, Ethereum and all. So that was
Right.
just one element of it. Whereas blockchain, if you understand in a more broader sense,
Mhm.
now can touch everyone's life. For example, identity management. Second is verification and ensuring your land records are safe and secure and not cannot be tampered in any way. Your health records, blockchain can play a very important role, not only in maintaining your privacy but also making multiple doctors to access information without spending time, and educational credential, but rather your journey from birth till death, all the milestones can be maintained in blockchain with the assurance of that cannot be stolen or tampered with in anyone, and you do not have to prove yourself all the time, and your identity, your uh, information lies with you, not any third party person. So you do not become you don't have to depend on others to prove who you are.
Right.
And like I've known a lot of cases when people go abroad and they apply for a job, they spend about more than 6 months to get their degree validated
Oh.
from the college they are passed out. Because and at times, because the college clerk does not pick up the call, does
Mhm.
not, so that, there are many cases I've seen in my life. So all these things could be made simpler. For example, your health records, unless it has been retrieved, you have to wait. So here instantly. So when blockchain is used for the good of the society, it can have a remarkable contribution. So here students can learn the fundamentals and the intricacies of this technology. And because I strongly believe youth are more dynamic and they can do a lot for the mankind in a broader manner by using this technology. And the intention is to serve.
Yeah. Right, sir.
And it's very important to know, like in the spiritual world, who you are. You know, once you know who you are, then everything becomes similar. Similarly, in the digital world, when the other person who you are interacting with to know who you are, then life is made simpler. So blockchain enables that process to establish the uh, fact of who we are talking to or interacting with, whether visibly or invisibly.
Right, right. Correct, sir. Yeah. So great insights, sir. Thanks for this great advice. I hope everyone loved this podcast. We have a very pretty great conversation. So happy to host you, sir. Thanks for your precious time.
My pleasure, Akshay.
Thank you, sir.
And you are doing a wonderful job in, because making people understand about technology is not an easy task, and you are trying to make people understand, and it's a very complicated. If you understand blockchain, people say, "Oh, Bitcoin." No,
Yeah,
you try to explain,
yeah,
by giving examples and diagrams, and people
yes,
understand.
yes.
So when they understand it is going to help their lives better,
Hmm.
so they will adapt to it.
True, sir. Absolutely true. Okay, so I think we have a pretty decent time. So this is time to stop this podcast. So thank you, sir, once again. And guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Akshay. Jai Hind.